I'm Sharon Fetter, Chief Digital Officer at Rachael Ray and Watch Entertainment. Before I joined Rachael Ray, I was Chief Operating Officer at Mashable.com, where I helped grow Giving Tuesday. I think that whether you're totally new to social media or you're a total pro, Giving Tuesday is a great opportunity to sort of take a look at what you're already doing, what's out in the marketplace, and set some goals and build some new infrastructure. It may be the case that you're new and you're looking and you're seeing a lot of people talking about social media. Well, why is social important? So the world has changed a lot, right? Like 10 years ago, we were talking about don't tell people who you are online, and that's changed. So people are now online on sites like Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, etc. And the idea of it can be very overwhelming, right? Because there are so many places that you're supposed to talk to people. But if you take a step back and you think about this as the opportunity to find your community where they already live and to use social to then find more people that you'd like to acquire. So how old is your audience? Are they men? Are they women? Are they in the US? Are they international? You can even ask them when you see them through your existing efforts, maybe they're mailers, where do you go online? And you might start to find that there are some trends. Now, if you don't have any of this information, what you could start to think about are what are the general things we know about social, right? Going back to those social networks. Well, Facebook, for example, is very mainstream. Facebook is no longer the place where you have college students hanging out. Now you have people of all ages, especially women in their 40s, 50s, and above. So if you're thinking about your donor base, it may be the case that they're spending a lot of time on that network. Now, let's go back to some other networks. Twitter. Twitter is very buzzy. There's a lot of buzz around Twitter, and for good reason, because Twitter is a great platform to engage people in small snippets, 140 characters or less. Now, you're not going to find all of the mainstream on Twitter because it's more of a very specified place, right? You're going to find media, you're going to find other nonprofits, and the great thing is you could start searching to see who are the organizations, brands, individual users who are already there. And you can do that using hashtags, right? So maybe it's the case that you're an organization focused on cancer. So cancer research, cancer relief, cancer support, you can start to use hashtags like cancer, cancer support to see who else is talking about cancer. One of the things that I advise for any organization starting out is to think about what is your set of nonprofits that you are working with, maybe sometimes working against, competing with, that are on social. Do you assess them as doing a good job? Do they have big numbers? Are those big numbers engaged? Because ultimately, if I have 1 million fans and only 200 of them are active, that is not going to give me the success that I want. And I'm not going to convert those people into long-time community and funders. So one of the things you want to do as you are continuing to iterate in your community is focus on those organizations, learn from what they're doing right, and add to your arsenal of tactics and continue to try. But you may want to look outside of those organizations, right? You want to look at brands, celebrities, influencers to look at, well, why are they seeing traction and can I learn from them? One of the things I really appreciate about various organizations and brands on social is how they take larger tactics or trends and make them their own. So for example, seeing a popular hashtag that's cute and human and making it your own, seeing a great user-generated content campaign. And if you think about those tactics as personalized to your organization, can you think through what makes your community excited, what drives them to ultimately action, and create campaigns for your organization. So on Giving Tuesday, as you're revving up and you're thinking about what your plans are, can you think through hashtags and imagery and make it your own and create campaigns that ultimately get your community excited about taking some form of action? So maybe it's the case that you are an animal organization, an animal rescue organization, and you want to create awareness about shelter animals. Can you get people into those shelters, get them taking pictures, sharing with a specific hashtag, and tapping into Giving Tuesday using the Giving Tuesday hashtag as well? Can you get them to create content on your behalf so that you're not doing all the work? Because ultimately, your bandwidth is not going to allow you the reach that you want. It's tapping into the community that will be very powerful for you. One of the things that I love about Giving Tuesday is how they've used brand ambassadors. So knowing that as a sort of organization, a number of organizations coming together, we as a movement are looking to other people to help us extend our bandwidth. And so, maybe it's influencers, mom bloggers, celebrities, and saying, hey, go out, help us spread the word. And in doing that, we're utilizing a tactic to allow them to reach into their community and extend our reach. And that's something that you can do as well. Can you look at your community and get people excited about the idea of furthering the cause that you are so looking to further, and creating change, and ask them to help you spread the word, ask them to help you take action. And in doing that, help them feel a sense of ownership. Get them to feel like they're a part of this as well, because one of the dynamics that's changed in this world that we've talked about that has evolved is that people want to participate. They don't want to be broadcasted to. They want more. And a big part of being on social is giving them that more. So this Giving Tuesday, you can think about, well, how do you not just create a campaign that people can talk about? How do you create a campaign that people can participate both online and in the real world? And I think that's the thing that's so powerful here about social media as well as Giving Tuesday. It's that we're not just talking about a silo of communication. We're talking about a true tie between what happens in the real world and how we push it much, much further using social media. Social doesn't have to be tremendously costly. There are a range of different tools you can use as an organization that don't require a lot of money, right? And so, for example, you have Bitly. And what will Bitly do? It'll allow you to shorten your links. And you want to shorten your links because having a long link on social can be both distracting and unnecessary. But that Bitly will allow you to track how often is your link being clicked on, how many people viewed it, where are those people coming from? Do those match up with your demographics of your core community? Which can be incredibly helpful because over time you can start to see patterns. Also, it'll tell you, well, did this resonate with my community, this update that I did on any of these social networks? Another thing that you can look into is a new startup called Social Rank. Social Rank is great because one of the things it's going to tell you is who are your best followers. So who are the people who are engaging with you most? Who are your most influential followers? These are things that'll start to get you thinking about, well, how do I segment this audience? And if I have people who are really great advocates of my nonprofit or my organization, how do I help put them to work? Can they be involved in special campaigns for me, much like we talked about brand advocates earlier? Can they, help me tap into a new community that I think is very important that they might also belong to? As you're growing your social, you may be wondering, how do I convert this into actual dollars? And I think there's a moment where you have to be realistic. You're not going to come on Twitter, for example, right away and say, I'm here, donate. It's going to take a little while. And, the opportunity here is that you have a daily opportunity and venue to tell your story and to have those followers participate. And as you engage them in new campaigns and you have them understand why your cause is so important to their daily lives, when you're ready to make that ask and you're ready to say, can you please donate, they'll be much more likely.